Hello everyone, and welcome to the session on soil mechanics fundamentals. Soil mechanics is one of the most important subjects in civil engineering, as it helps us understand the behavior and properties of soil under different loading and environmental conditions. In this course, we will learn about the engineering properties of soil, soil classification, permeability, compaction, shear strength, consolidation, and settlement concepts that are essential for the safe design of foundations and geotechnical structures. Understanding soil behavior is very important for the construction of buildings, roads, bridges, dams, retaining walls, and other infrastructure projects. This presentation is designed to provide clear and fundamental concepts in a simple and practical manner for students and learners. Before we begin the course content, let me briefly introduce myself. I am Mr. S. Vinoth, Assistant Professor in the Department of Civil Engineering at KPRIET Institute of Engineering and Technology. I completed my Bachelor of Engineering in Civil Engineering from KPRIET Institute of Engineering and Technology and pursued my Master of Engineering in Structural Engineering at Sri Shakti Institute of Engineering and Technology. I also worked as a technical assistant in the town planning section at Singanallur Corporation Office, Coimbatore, where I gained practical exposure in planning and infrastructure-related activities. My areas of interest include structural engineering, infrastructure engineering and management, and earth system science and engineering. Through this course, I aim to explain the concepts of soil mechanics in a simple, practical, and application-oriented manner. Now, let us begin with the fundamentals of soil mechanics. Now, let us move into Unit 1, Soil and its Properties. In this unit, we will begin by understanding the origin and formation of soils, which explains how different types of soil are produced through natural geological processes. Next, we will study soil structure and the three-phase system of soil consisting of solids, water, and air. We will then discuss phase relationships and the important engineering parameters derived from them, such as water content, void ratio, porosity, degree of saturation, and unit weight. The unit also covers index properties of soil, which help in identifying and understanding soil behavior. Further, we will learn about Atterberg limits, including liquid limit, plastic limit, and shrinkage limit, which are essential for fine-grained soil characterization. We will also study soil classification systems based on Indian Standard Classification and the Unified Soil Classification System, commonly known as IS and USCS methods. Finally, this unit includes several numerical problems related to phase relationships, index properties, Atterberg limits, and soil classification to strengthen conceptual understanding and problem-solving skills. Let us begin with the origin and formation of soils. Before studying the detailed concepts of soil mechanics, it is important to understand what soil mechanics actually means and why it is essential in civil engineering. Soil mechanics is a branch of civil engineering that deals with the study of the physical properties and engineering behavior of soils. In geotechnical engineering, soil acts as the foundation material for almost every structure. Therefore, understanding soil behavior is very important for safe and stable construction. Soil mechanics helps engineers analyze important soil properties such as strength, compressibility, permeability, and stability. The strength of soil determines its ability to support structural loads. Compressibility helps us understand settlement behavior. Permeability explains the flow of water through soil, while stability is important for slopes, embankments, and retaining structures. The principles of soil mechanics are widely used in the design of foundations, embankments, retaining walls, slopes, pavements, and earth dams. A proper understanding of soil behavior helps engineers achieve safe, stable, and economical construction practices. Now, let us continue by studying the origin and formation of soils. Now, let us learn about the father of soil mechanics, Karl Terzaghi. Karl Terzaghi, who lived from 1883 to 1963, is widely known as the father of soil mechanics because of his significant contributions to geotechnical engineering. Before his work, Soil behavior was not clearly understood in engineering practice. Terzaghi introduced scientific principles that helped engineers analyze and predict soil behavior more accurately. One of his most important contributions is the effective stress principle, which explains how stresses are distributed within soil and how soil behaves under external loading conditions. He also developed the one-dimensional consolidation theory, which is used to predict settlement in saturated clay soils over time. The theories and concepts developed by Karl Terzaghi became the foundation of modern geotechnical engineering and are still widely used in foundation design and soil analysis today. Because of his groundbreaking research and practical contributions, Karl Terzaghi is remembered as one of the most influential engineers in civil engineering history. Now, let us look at the major topics that will be discussed in this unit. We will begin with the origin of soils, where we study how soils are formed through the weathering of rocks and natural geological processes. Next, we will understand the three-phase diagram of soil, which explains the relationship between soil solids, water, and air present within a soil mass. After that, we will discuss important soil engineering terms that are commonly used in geotechnical engineering and numerical problem solving. We will then move on to phase relationships, which include parameters such as water content, void ratio, porosity, degree of saturation, and unit weight. Finally, we will study Atterberg's limits, which are used to identify and classify fine-grained soils based on their consistency characteristics. These topics form the foundation for understanding the engineering behavior of soils and are very important for further study in geotechnical engineering. Let us start with the first topic, origin of soils. Now, let us understand the origin of soils. Soils are mainly formed by the weathering of rocks over a long period of time. Weathering is the process through which rocks break down into smaller particles due to natural environmental actions. There are two major types of weathering involved in soil formation: mechanical disintegration and chemical decomposition. Mechanical weathering breaks rocks into smaller pieces due to temperature changes, wind action, water flow, freezing, and other physical processes. Chemical weathering occurs when minerals in rocks react with water, oxygen, carbon dioxide, and other chemicals, resulting in decomposition and alteration of rock materials. As rocks are exposed to the atmosphere, they gradually undergo erosion and degradation through various physical and chemical processes. The eroded soil particles are then picked up and transported from one place to another by natural agents such as wind, water, ice, and gravity. This movement and deposition of soil materials continuously change the surface of the earth and may lead to large-scale geological movements and landform changes. Thus, the soil we see today is the result of long-term weathering, erosion, transportation, and deposition processes occurring in nature. Based on the mode of transportation and deposition, soils can be classified into different types. The first type is glacial soils. These soils are formed by the transportation and deposition of materials by glaciers. They are usually found in cold regions where ice movement carries rock fragments and soil particles. The second type is alluvial soils. These soils are transported by running water and deposited along river banks, floodplains, and stream channels. Alluvial soils are generally fertile and widely used for agriculture. Next are lacustrine soils, which are formed by deposition in quiet lakes. Since the water movement is very slow, fine-grained particles settle at the bottom of lakes and form soft deposits. Marine soils are formed by deposition in seas and coastal regions. These soils are usually fine-grained and may contain salts and organic materials. Another important type is aeolian soils. These soils are transported and deposited by wind action. Wind-blown deposits are commonly found in desert and dry regions. A well-known example is the Loess deposits in China. Finally, we have colluvial soils. These soils are formed due to the movement of soil materials from their original location under the action of gravity. Such soils are commonly associated with landslides and hill slope deposits. Thus, Different transportation agents such as glaciers, water, wind, and gravity play an important role in the formation and deposition of soils. In soil mechanics, soil is considered as a three-phase system because it consists of three different components: solids, water, and air. The three-phase diagram helps engineers understand the relationship between the volume and mass of solids, water, and air present in soil. Now, let us understand the concept of the three-phase diagram in detail. For the purpose of study and analysis, soil is conveniently represented using a phase diagram. This diagram helps engineers clearly understand the relationship between soil solids, water, and air present in a soil mass. In general, soil consists of three phases: the solid phase, the liquid phase, and the gaseous phase. The solid phase represents the soil particles. The liquid phase represents water present within the void spaces. The gaseous phase represents air or other gases occupying the remaining voids. Depending on the presence of water and air, soils may exist in different conditions. In fully saturated soil, all the void spaces are completely filled with water, and there is no air present. Therefore, it becomes a two-phase system consisting only of solids and water. In dry soil, the void spaces are occupied only by air, and no water is present. Hence, dry soil is also considered a two-phase system consisting of solids and air. Now, let us look at the weight and volume relationships used in the phase diagram. The total weight of soil is represented by Wt. Ws represents the weight of solids. Ww represents the weight of water. The weight of air, Wa, is generally considered negligible and is approximately equal to 0. Similarly, in volume relationships, Vt represents the total volume of soil. Vs represents the volume of solids. Vw represents the volume of water. Vv represents the total volume of voids. Va represents the volume of air. These relationships form the basis for deriving important engineering parameters such as water content, void ratio, porosity, and degree of saturation. Understanding the phase diagram is very important because it forms the foundation for solving many numerical problems in soil mechanics.